Maisha. So Maisha needs to do two things. A, some odd reason she decides she want to wake up, walk past my phone. Get your ass off that phone. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna just call you in the morning.
Yep.
She tripping. Or the other thing is, I'm on the phone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello.
Yo, yeah. Crash land in the palm of my hand. Bad little flex wanna play by the coast. Carry the torch, I'm way up in Slitty wherever we float. I came from the cold, used to rest on the floor. I stitch up my wounds, was born a soldier. Flipping the struggle, I'm taking it worldwide. Hold it down when you talk to me. Say it is what it's supposed to be. Say it loud, but I mean it too, yeah.
Yo. What's good? You feel me? Welcome back to another episode of what?
Let's talk about it with the Red Man.
Yeah. Man, we back. You feel me? We here again, boo. You feel me? We here. Another episode. I'm your host, Mr. Too Many Reasons himself, and this is my lovely wife, my co-host,
Renee.
Oh, so this week is Crene. Last week it was Nay.
Y'all get it.
Who is y'all get it?
Yeah, y'all get it. Our viewers.
I need you to stick to a name.
Okay? Anyways, I can do it.
You can be. Why you just give me Mrs. Reasons? It's so much easier.
No.
You just difficult.
I'm not difficult.
You are.
I'm not.
Whatever.
Just because I don't want to have the name that you have does not mean that I'm difficult. That means that I'm speaking my mind and I'm speaking up. That's what that means.
So you speaking up? So you feel like I'll muzzle you? Is this you trying to say? Okay?
No, you don't muzzle me.
Voice? You don't have a voice in this relationship?
That's not.
Is that you trying to admit to something? Or you said something you want to say? Huh?
No.
Okay, all right. Before we get into an argument on these airwaves. So, man, today's episode, man, we here to take y'all back and walk y'all through the evolution of communication. And not the communication as far as talking to one another, but the communication as far as how people actually communicated with one another throughout the course of time, especially with us growing up in the 90s. It was the communication now from when it was when I was a kid is wild.
Internet.
Wild, right? Like the way we're able to reach each other through all these social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
It's so many. But there used to be a start. And the start, do you remember what the start of communication, how people found each other? And
man, from our time, or are you talking about before us?
Before us, they just had the little dial tone.
Yeah, they had the dial tone. Then they also used to walk like hella miles. That too.
Who grandma had that phone?
My grandma had that phone. I used to love that phone. I used to be like, I don't even know how to do. I used to be like, this.
That phone is so confusing now to think about that you have to go to 8,
right,
and then come back and go to 5, and then who the hell?
My granny had one of those.
Do you remember did you ever see the block cell phone? The big gray one that had the orange numbers?
Yes, so my daddy had one of them big old phones. I don't think he had that one particular, but he had, I remember
Your daddy was a player.
I remember a big old phone that he had.
Big ass self.
Right.
Big ass self. Hello.
Yes, I remember seeing one of those. Yeah.
They always had to put the antenna down and close that.
The one that open up, fold up.
Yeah, you gotta fold this big ass block in your pocket. Where'd you go with that big ass phone? It just felt so luxurious when they had that phone. It's just so interesting to watch people when they be doing shows from the 90s and the 80s, or they reminiscing about that time, just looking at that kind of stuff. Yeah. The biggest thing that I remember as we move further is the pager. Having a pager.
My mom had one of those.
Everybody had a pager. I used to watch my mama look at her pager.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really never understood but I guess now I do that you was getting in contact. But I'm so they'll just check their message and then go call them? So they'll page them. You get a page.
You get a page from a number.
And then
and
you
you
would
go call that number that paged you.
That's deep.
And then people had like codes that they would send to let you know that that's them paging you. It used to be wild. I think I got my first pager. I had a pager.
You had a pager?
I got a pager. Maisha got me a pager. Shout out to Maisha. Mama got me a pager. I had a pager.
You had a pager? Wait. I was like, what?
I did.
Because you're only a year older than me, so I'm just like, what are you doing with a pager?
I had a pager. I remember having one because I was at Nadine's house, and I just remember looking at it because my mom paged me, and I had a pager. True story. A little black one. I didn't have a little side one. I had the original OG.
DJ had a pager.
Had a pager. For real, for real.
Nah.
Because, like, yeah, think about it. People used to page you from payphones and have them call the payphone back.
True. How did you...
Listen, to this day, we want to ask some of our elders. To this day, I still don't fully understand the microcosm of how that worked out.
Yeah.
So you didn't have a pager?
No, I did not.
You didn't have a little beep?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I would say
that's
the first,
such and such. Let me
the first phone, I mean, speaking of communication, I know I couldn't.
What?
That's all I
Jackson.
Okay. Speaking of communication, my first communication device was
The Nokia.
A chirp.
You didn't get the Nokia?
No, I didn't have.
Everybody had a Nokia.
I didn't have one of those.
Listen, okay.
I got a chirp in the 7th grade.
You got a chirp in the 7th grade?
The red chirp. I mean, not the red. The blue chirps.
The blue one, the little bigger one?
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first one.
All the blue ones had star 67 as their.
Yeah, that was my.
So
first
before I got to a chirp, I had the Nokia. Had the little little Nokia that was about like this big.
Yeah, I remember seeing those. It was like a lot of people.
And
had
so,
those.
I got cussed out something thoroughly smooth. So I had the Nokia, and you feel me? At that time, ringtones was in. You had to have a ringtone. So Nokia or whatever service that was never really I guess it said it, but I didn't pay attention to that. Even though you previewed the ringtone, you was paying for it. So I had a $90 bill of previewed songs because I thought I only paid. I'm like, man, what's $3 gonna do? Because I only bought like 3.
Yeah.
But every time I previewed one, Maisha cussed me out some smooth boy.
Thinking he's something with them ringtones.
Thought I was something with them ringtones because you had to. I'm talking about I used to sit and just go through ringtones like all day.
That was a thing too. That was definitely a thing. Even the message box or the voice leaving a voicemail.
Oh,
you all like, oh yeah, this is with the usher in the background. Or...
You gotta like,
first of all, how old are you? Like it's to be lit. Like seriously.
You gotta hear that in that background, be like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
This is DeJuan going ahead and leave a message at the beat, and I'll get back to you when I can.
Go ahead and finish off the song. You gotta finish some of the song.
That was a wild time because even like as you transitioned from that Nokia, you had the other flip phones like the Razor, the little Razor phone.
Yeah,
like people really wanted the Razors.
Yeah, I wanted the Razor, but I have friends who had the Razor, but I didn't get the Razor.
You had the Razor, and then from the Razor, that was like the Chirp, and then like the Chirp. Because my first Chirp, I got my.
Then the Roxy. Remember the Roxy?
The Rock. That was a Chirp.
Yeah, but it was a flip phone.
Yeah, it was a flip phone. Yes, I'm saying. But my first Chirp, I never forget, was a little black i205.
I remember those i205.
I had the i205.
Yeah,
got it my
was it like black and
year.
gray or something?
Like, yeah, black. It was a little black phone. I had it my sophomore year.
Was it a flip phone or just...
Nah, it was regular.
Yeah.
I had an i205. And I thought I was... Once I got a Chirp, baby, I had the little i205 Chirp. And then I end up graduating to the flip Chirp, the i730. It was gray.
Yeah.
The i730. Then that's when the ringtone game was popping because that's when you can actually like it actually had lyrics with it.
That is so funny. I'm just thinking like how he's like Where you at? Like a walkie-talkie?
Yeah, that's all it was a walkie-talkie. And, and instead of having numbers, you had people chirped because at that time, minutes was for real. So you don't want to run over your minutes. And then your parents had to get, like, if you wanted free minutes, your free minute. Like, I had Sprint, or no, what was it at that time? Nextel.
You had Nextel. Damn.
And so, yeah, because my dad had Singular Wireless. I remember that. My dad had Singular. My mom had Nextel. And our minutes wasn't free till after 9. So that was the only time you could actually get on the phone.
Those friends and family.
You had the friends and family plan. So I could call my mama for free. But, I couldn't talk to nobody. So I had to have a chirp because the chirp was like a walkie-talkie. That's how you should catch people up, too. Because if you knew somebody was talking to somebody, if you couldn't chirp through, like, who the hell you... Burp, burp,
yeah,
and
you got to area.
And it's...
Hello, man. Like, who you on the phone with? I was on the phone. Yes, you was.
Yes, you was. Why I couldn't go through? Why I can't go through? Why I can't get to your name and go through? That means you talking to somebody. Why is it big?
Yep. And then you try to hear you. Hello? Hello? I know you hear me. This is Pranay. Who you talking to?
Oh, my God. You use, like, in those situations, you really have to put your phone. It wasn't like silent, but it had to be low. Like, it was a wild, like, we were, like, high school was a wild time for communication.
And then after the chirps, it went to
Sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
And Sidekicks was popping basically junior, senior year.
Yeah, I didn't get my sidekick. I mean, well, I could say, what's that, junior year? No, that's not junior. It's sophomore year.
Yeah, I'm a year older.
Yeah, so I got mine like sophomore, but then I got the LX my senior year, I remember. I thought I was a shit.
Thought you had them.
Everybody was like, oh, let me see your phone, Renee. I was like, here, see my phone. Let me see your phone. I was like, look, see my phone. I got the LX.
Yeah, so I got, my mom had a Sidekick 2, the white one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The original.
Yeah.
And she wasn't using it, so I used to use that. You feel me? And so, and then ultimately I ended up getting a Sidekick, my own. I'll never forget. So my senior year, I'm at the bus stop. The senior year, end of the senior year, I'm at the bus stop. And I'm chilling on my phone. I'm like this. I'll never forget. I'm chilling on my phone. I'm like this. At the corner of my eye, I see this dude walking. But I'm not like I'm paying attention, but I'm like, And so, like, I'm on my phone. And luckily, I had my phone on my wrist. And this nigga literally tried to walk past me and snatch my phone out my hand. And we really got into a full little tussle over my phone. That was the first time I ever almost got robbed, like, over a phone. I almost really lost my phone. And I went back to the school like, hey, like, this nigga really just tried to rob me. And so, Yanni, her dad came and picked her up.
His sister. My
sister Yanni. Her dad came and picked her up. And Edgar is not the one you want to mess with. Like, he treated me like a son of his own. He picked me up. He driving around. Look, we like, no, we got to find this nigga. Like, and like, we couldn't find him. And to this day, I've never seen old boy again. But it was wild. Like, he really tried to get me for my phone in my hand at the bus stop, like a real snatch and grab type situation. And that's like, crazy. We got into a whole little tussle, and I was able to have my phone. But that was wild times. But other wild times in high school, well, I mean, it kind of was before high school, was like writing notes. Writing notes was it. Well, I feel like I wrote some of the best notes in America. Like my note game.
I mean, so we possibly could have just talked about the notes, writing notes first before phones, because before phones it was writing notes.
It was writing notes.
Yeah. In middle school, it's going down.
Man, it was writing notes.
Middle school was writing notes for me, and then high school it changed to having a cell phone.
Listen.
Well, no, because I got my chirp in like 7th, 8th grade. So yeah.
Ryan Johnson Carter. Look, boy, me and my boy Ryan, we listen. I don't care what y'all. We started this right here. Okay, we went past notes because we felt like notes was getting too sloppy. Trying to keep up with notes, so we started a whole.
My notes never got sloppy.
Listen, we started a whole notebook, and we passing a notebook to our little shorties and stuff.
That's so funny though. Like how we
passing notebooks.
Just create shit. Like we can't talk, so we about to be creative.
Yeah,
we
man.
about to start writing stuff.
In high school, I'd be in second period, bored, and I listen to the teacher.
Yep, I know, me too.
Writing a whole essay.
We used to throw it. We used to wall up and roll on the floor. Like, you just have to get it real quick. Like, here, open it up. And then I'd be like, so read it. That's what I said. Call me.
What?
What?
Yeah, man, my notebook game was intense. You feel me? At one point, I had like 2 or 3 notebooks going at one time. 3 different girls. Like it was a wild time. I lived a wild life in high school. I really did. It was
a wild life.
I lived a wild life.
I can't really relate to that because I was in a relationship at that time, so I wasn't really living a wild life. I didn't really start getting out there until like my 20s, honestly.
Yeah, I lived a wild life. I mean, like my sophomore year, or heading into my sophomore year, I was in a relationship. I got in a relationship in my freshman year, heading into my sophomore year. Did that. And then my junior year, me and my ex had broke up for a while. And during that breakup time, oh my God.
Whole bag.
Wild life. It was a wild life. I had notebooks going, talking to girls, you feel me? That was when calling somebody's house was for real. Like, you feel me? You have to call and ask for such and such. Like, hello, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, may I speak to?
Yep. Oh my God.
That used to be so nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking like a mother. Like, oh my God. Like, his mama didn't pick up the phone. How this about to go? But then the mom be like, all right, whatever she asks, who did I say? And then she'll just get on the phone. I'm like, okay, well, damn.
Like, my house phone.
Mom ain't asking no questions. Yeah. Like, they ain't gonna like, well, now we have cell phones. But I'm like, a house phone, I'm like, who is you? Where you be my baby from?
Man,
we're about to go down a whole list.
You get a whole 3rd degree?
Yes, I'm about to be like,
wow. Ain't nobody trying to talk to you.
Well,
why would talk to you?
Listen. Well, my thing is, if you can call my house and want to talk to one of my kids, you can talk to me and I can figure out who you are.
Ain't nobody trying to talk to you.
I don't care about none of that. First of all, I'm the mama. I don't be understanding like how these mamas and daddies should just pass their kids the phone because I was one of them kids. Mama like, Renee, come with the phone. Hello? Damn, she didn't say nothing?
Yeah. I felt like my mom knew who was calling. You feel me? I at least previewed her to who.
Yeah, I mean it's the same, but still.
But I'm saying I never had my own line, so I always shared a line. The fear that I used to go through was being up late on the phone, and Maisha needs to do 2 things. A, some odd reason she decides she want to wake up, walk past my room. Get your ass off that phone. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna just call you in the morning.
Yep.
Is she tripping? Or the other thing is, I'm on the phone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello. Duane, why are you still on this goddamn phone? Oh. Get off the phone. All right. Hello. Yeah, I'm gonna call you back.
You got embarrassed. I've been on the line though when that happened. And I'm like, okay, I just laugh like, all right.
Rough. It was a rough time.
Okay.
Like I couldn't wait to get my own goddamn phone. Like I think I had like a 4-month moment where I had my own phone line. Cause I remember my house number was 562-790-8746. I think that was the house number, if I'm not mistaken. Or that could have been my mama's cell phone number. Can't remember. But I think, if you watch this episode, 790-8746, was that the house or a cell? But either way it go, I had that going on. And it was rough. And also think about, with phones, we used to have dial-up internet. And you couldn't even be on the phone when that motherfucker got the...
The little
AOL,
AOL, yeah, like I don't.
American Online was it.
It was rough, but we figured that shit out though. That's
we had to figure it out, man. We had to progress.
Yeah.
Because also in high school, this is when, see, people don't fully understand. We didn't call it social media, but it was social media.
Yeah.
MySpace, boy.
Social media.
MySpace. When you got into MySpace,
Yeah.
like, first off, I need the people to understand. Kids now, right, have STEM programs. And in these STEM programs, they're doing coding. And what coding is you enter things and then things work based off what you have entered. We were coding in high school on MySpace and didn't even understand what we were doing. Because my MySpace page was lit. I figured out how to code and put like a YouTube music video on that thing. So my MySpace come on, you got the music playing in the background. You feel me? Like I had the drip stuff coming down, and then my name.
I didn't even have all that.
My name a scroll. Like remember y'all remember the light up belts? Cuz. I never got a belt. Mama, I'm still mad about that. I never.
Yeah, I got
you know what? I'm going to go.
Like Jay Shell's watching this. If you tune into this one, she had it first. Now I told Mama, I'm like, I got to get me a belt. Because she had her name, like across in different colors. And Mama finally got me one. And then she ended up getting me the one. No, I had the light up one. Then she going to give me like the regular one first, though. This with my name on it. Like with yeah, but it just reminded me of Jay Shell because she had it. She had one first.
I never got one. You know what? I'm grown now. I'm gonna give you one. I know there's ways to get the light up belt buckle. I don't care. I'm grown. I'm gonna give one just to bring it back. Whatever. But yeah, the light up belt buckle bow. That's how
that's
MySpace.
Some crump stuff. If you crump dancing or something.
Whatever.
You're not about to go nowhere with me with no light up belt. Okay, Chris Brown.
I can crump right now, but my MySpace was so lit. Like I remember my picture. I remember my picture because my ex had took it. It was me with my shirt off, but I was like, I had like water in my chest. So you can see my little sixes. I was playing football at the time. My junior year, I was playing football. 6-pack was looking all. That was my cover picture. My goodness, boy. I'm trying to tell you. The other thing about MySpace, like you knew MySpace was real when you were searching people top 8s.
Yeah, I can't relate because I wasn't into all MySpace stuff. I was on the loop.
I was on the loop too.
I was on the loop.
Boom, 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 boom. Every somebody trying to get in your DMs. That was the first. So you talk about sliding in DMs. The loop. Mm-hmm. This is for like all my. This is my SoCal people. I don't know what you Bay Area people had. Maybe I think y'all had the party line. We had the party line.
We had the party line too.
But the loop, like.
That is crazy. Who even invented that stuff?
Listen, the loop was a wild place. You had different rooms, 1 through 9. You go in there. Yep. The loop was basically what people are using in spaces on Twitter right now. And to where it's just conversations that are going on. So things come full circle if you really pay attention. You really pay attention. Things come full circle because the loop was our communication line just to sit there and chop it up. This was Tinder before Tinder and
exactly.
All these little dating websites, social. This was what this was, but on the phone. And I think the on the phone part is what made it so unique because it's like you could be on a loop. I think you had like an hour. You got like an hour. So you trying to sit there and jump in and out of DMs and talk to different girls and get as many numbers as you can because when that hour ran out, it's like, who I'm going to call?
Yeah.
And then you get so crafty, you create hella profiles so you can, me and Mike was Batman and Superman.
Of course. Of course. What?
And Mike had 2 different phone lines at his house. So we was able to be on, I was able to be on one phone, he was able to be on another phone. And we had both been the same, like it was.
Yeah, know. I'm already knowing.
Man, I had so many Luke girlfriends. Shout out.
Okay, shout out to all my Luke boyfriends.
All my Luke girlfriends back in the day. You feel me?
You probably let my boyfriends didn't even know. Look at us now. We married.
I don't remember her name. No.
I didn't even use my name. What?
Oh.
I don't know what my name was.
Exactly.
It was something.
I never, and see, the sad part is all my relationships were so long distance because I never met up. Like, never had.
Yeah, me neither.
Never had the resources. Because I never met a chick in Long Beach.
Like, what the heck? Yeah.
I never met a chick in Long Beach. I always met a chick LA, Carson, where I couldn't get to. Because in Long Beach, it was like, hey, yeah, meet me at the Lakewood Mall or the town center or something. I never could meet a chick.
Remember going to the mall just to get numbers, though? Remember that?
Yes.
To the movies?
What? Me and Mike used to stay every weekend.
We stayed at the mall just doing that.
At the what? The movie, you go to the mall to walk around just to get a number. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the whole vibe. That was the whole thing. Like, life was
we go to the movies, because that's what we wanted to do. Then we'll go to the mall, and then we'll just...
What else? It was the opposite. We'd show up, go to the mall, and go see a movie. Mm-hmm. The whole point of having girls meet me at the movie theater to go on a date, like, that was just good times.
It was.
It was good times, and it's like that communication level, because you have to talk, like, you have to get her number, and you have to call her, and you have to sit on the phone and talk to her. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what this was about. There wasn't no texting. There wasn't no nothing. Yep. The texting stuff came in basically once we all started getting Sidekicks.
Yeah.
That's when texting really
like you
took off.
Yeah, we had to call on the phone. We had to be on the phone. There was no, I feel like, because I was part of that person that was shy sometimes. I'm like, oh, just see if he answered or something. But other than that, like you said, we're talking. Like, there's nothing else you can do but just talk. Like, you gotta talk on the phone.
You gotta be. I got.
But like, and then Sidekicks, when Sidekicks came out, we started texting.
I got played one time. Just talking. Got played. Not necessarily bad play, but Mike know this story. So
you wouldn't tell me? Okay.
I don't know if I did or did not. Anyway, so. We doing all this communicating on the phone, and Mike meet this girl, and she got a cousin. So I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm like, yeah. You know how that was when your boy was talking to somebody, trying to put you on with a friend, and it's vibes
it's
like
that.
It's always like that. So he put me on. She get on the phone. She sound beautiful. I'm thinking she like light skin.
Like Friday.
I'm talking, she sound bad.
Look like Janet Jackson.
Bro.
Well, like
come
Freddie
to find
Jackson.
out, she big as hell. I'm like, cuz, this is wow, bro. Like, she was big, man. But she was so nice. I never even took the time to go meet her. Mike told me she was big, and then I kind of saw her big ass one time out the spectrum of my eye.
What?
Yeah, like I pulled
the spectrum of my eye.
I'm just so mad because I got played because her voice game was cold though. Like, she was really gaming me up. And she was big.
I'm sorry.
And I'm
thinking about his Friday when he was like, man, you couldn't talk about you look like Janet Jackson.
Well, like Freddie Jackson. And she was big though. You feel me? And it was just like I got played. And so after that, it became like, I'm not rushing into liking you on the phone no more. I'm gonna have to see you, because this blind date stuff early on in my life was not. Not.
I had something happen like that to me, and I was just like, bruh.
Yeah, just how you just go sound cute.
Right? Like, wait, because I know I'm cute.
Yeah.
I'm definitely cute. So I'm just like, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. Like, you sound like cute, Nah, this ain't gonna cut.
It ain't gonna cut us. I'm saying. So once we got to away messages became that thing. You knew about people's lives. You knew about when people away messages went up. People would hit you like, "Hey, you see such and such away message? They going in." So and then that's when subliminals first started.
MySpace?
No, that was on Sidekicks. Away message on Sidekick. You just let that little note. And you go away.
Yeah, I remember that.
You learned all the tea in away messages. You knew who was about to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You knew who didn't like each other. You knew all the subs, or you was being subbed because she thought she was slick. Like, bitch, I can see that. I see what you're saying. Like, away messages became that thing. Away messages basically was statuses on Facebook. Away messages was basically your thoughts on Twitter. And that's how a lot of this stuff has evolved into that.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's something like that sidekick.
Oh, when you share, what? Anyway, I don't know what that was. But when you like sharing a post, like you said, like it's for everybody to see or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what away messages was. Away was.
I wonder, like, if all the people who invented the loop and stuff like that, like, if they have some type of, like, you know, hands in with these other type of social media.
It's a possibility, or people could just technically bite and rebrand and recreate. He sees something, hears something, be like, oh, we're gonna take it to the next level, because that's what happened from MySpace to Facebook.
Right.
Facebook took it to another level to where it became more global. MySpace was like very like micro in its sense. Facebook became global to where you can talk to this person way over there. Like I met girls to come to Fresno on Facebook. Like typed in like, oh, who's going to Fresno State, and you can see who's coming in, and then that's how you'll meet a chick like that way. So Facebook became that thing. You feel me? Because you know, that's just what it was. And Facebook at first had an age requirement. And so I was skeptical on doing it because I was like, you know, I feel like my friends be haters like, oh, you ain't that age, because I was like the youngest one out the bunch. But you know, like nobody really never said nothing, and that's just kind of how these things took off. But the evolution of communication is wild. How we was going about doing things as well. Like we going to parties. And when you going to parties, you trying to get numbers, you trying to save numbers, you trying to compete with how many numbers you got. You feel me? You trying to see like, hey, you know, let me get your number. She trying to write it on a little piece of paper. You trying to stuff the paper. You feel me?
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's basically the same thing now. You just bring out your cell phone.
Yeah.
It was good times, man. It was good damn times. And now, like the way things are with social media, like now you sliding in DMs on Instagram. You feel me? Like you able to FaceTime. Yep. Yeah. Like that's how people are maintaining long distance relationships, is through FaceTiming.
Yeah.
Because that's my way of seeing and looking at you and communicating with you.
And maybe long distance relationship can work though because of FaceTime. Just mentioning that, because you'll be able to still see the person, you know, and if y'all not able to have sexual relationships, you know, with each other, FaceTime, here it is. Just pop that thing on the countertop.
What? On the countertop? That's how you be in the kitchen? This is wild.
And get to work. I'm just saying, but because I'm sure.
I mean, of course that's what happened. People not even in long distance relationships doing it like that. But you can do, even from that, like even Snapchat, you can send snaps.
Right, you can send snaps. Yeah. You can send, I see you some. I did see some weird dating. You
can send stuff on Instagram, Messenger. Like now there's no endless possibilities of how you can communicate all kinds of stuff. You don't have to just text these things. You can send them via social medias. I mean, that's why like OnlyFans has popped off now. Yeah. You feel me? Because it's like people can just go on the phone.
And people are really paying
for OnlyFans. When all this free stuff is out there, you go pay for OnlyFans.
People do whatever they do. And not saying that they actually even do anything sexual. They could just be living their own lives.
People pay just to see that.
Just to see them. I would never.
It's wild times. Like I said, it's wild times to just think about how we have progressed into all this. How like text messaging has taken over. Like you rarely see people calling people.
Right.
They text. We have a full-blown text conversation. You more mad that you left on red. So what happens now is text messaging has evolved from when you had a sidekick And on the Sidekick, you knew you had a message because your little ball would turn blue. And if it stayed green, that means ain't nobody texting you.
Mm-hmm.
So you used to rush to look at your phone to see if it's blue, if somebody respond. Just like now, you'll rush to your damn phone to see if that communication is happening.
Sorry, y'all. It's 12:50.
And so it's just, it's so wild to see like how the evolution of things, but we're still paranoid by being accepted, or we're paranoid by if people calling and texting us and you know, like we leave statuses now that we left on away messages. Those are our statuses now on Facebook. You know, our thoughts that we'll write to somebody is now the thoughts that we text to somebody. Like it's or DM. You feel me? And sliding DMs was what you did when you was on the loop. You feel me? And like that evolution is the wildest evolution of them all. And you know, just to know that I was a part of the generation from
that time,
the rolly phones to dial tone phones. Did you ever have a Blueberry?
Nope.
Or Blackberry?
My dad, the Blackberry.
Yeah,
not
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
Damn Blueberry. I had a Blackberry for a little bit.
Yeah, my daddy had one, and I wanted his, but he told me no.
I had a Blackberry for a little bit. I thought I was a shit too, with a little Blackberry. It looked like a little business phone.
Yeah, it's like a business phone.
It's just like I said, man. It was such wild times, and just the progression of where we are now. You know, to where like people don't even need to go outside to date. They can just go on an app. And go on Tinder. And then you can buy the subscription. And if you get the subscription, now you got access to more stuff.
Or other apps too. Other dating apps.
Yeah, it's Christian Mingle.
Yeah,
it's all kinds of dating apps.
Like
the dating apps now is like because like now the dating apps is so entrenched. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so specific to what you're looking for. There are dating apps just for hooking up. There are dating apps.
It is?
Yeah, there are dating apps just for hooking up.
He will know.
There are dating apps
will know.
No, I'm just saying. You learn about all this stuff. There are dating
apps just to hook up.
Just to hook up. Like, everybody on that dating app is there for a cause.
What is the cause?
I don't know. I ain't did that. I told you I didn't do all my research. I just know they're dating apps.
I'm curious. I'm just like, what is it called?
Yeah,
like, what is the app called? Like,
they're dating apps just to hook up. And now, like I said, if you, on these dating apps, if you're not trying to hook up, but people are using these dating apps to find their lover, like to find their perfect person. Because it's like, if I put in all my requirements and you put in all your requirements and we swiping left and right and we match, we have killed half of the thing because you read my profile and it said, oh yeah, you want to do this, and the third, and I want to do, you feel me? So it's a wild time. I feel like dating apps became even more popular with COVID because we really wouldn't be able to go outside. So how else was you going to meet new people and hook up and hang out and do all that kind of stuff?
But I'm like, people were actually hooking up when COVID was here. Well, COVID's still here, but when COVID first came,
people's sexual urges just died out because the COVID died out.
They get you a vibrator.
What? That doesn't always. No, people want the real deal. Real deal Holyfield. Ain't
First
nothing
of
like
all, real deal.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
I agree, but I'm just saying, during COVID, it's like, who's trying to sleep with this person, that person?
I mean, I don't think people was out there just being. I mean, hey, they was. They probably was.
They was. I don't know.
Probably being wild, young, wild, and free. But I mean, it happens. And like I said, so overall, you know, we just wanted to tap in with y'all, man, and just go back down memory lane. Go back down memory lane. I know a lot of our viewers and people that's going to tap in and watch this episode going to fully be able to reminisce, and it's going to take you back. It's going to make you go look. Because a lot of y'all probably still got that box from high school that got all your love letters in there. I didn't keep up with that. That's why I used to have one of these, because this was a lot easier to maintain. And parts of me wish I would have kept mine from back in the day just to see, because I was reckless.
Yeah,
I was wild.
You see like what you were talking about?
I knew what I was talking
really
about.
Say this?
I knew what I said, dude.
Oh my, you just gross.
It was a wild time, man. It was. You feel me? I had no car, no nothing. I had to just.
I knew what I was talking about. I know what I said.
I know what I said. I stand by what I said. It was, but it was a fun time. When you look back, and I look back, that was a fun time because you really had to communicate.
Fun time.
You couldn't hide behind text messaging. You knew my exact emotion. So when I said something, you knew it. Like, I can say something through a text message and it has to be interpreted whether this is funny or not. I got to add a laugh out loud to make sure that I'm not going overboard. Versus
and
when
even the laugh out loud, those are just because, like you mentioned, when we just writing these letters or whatever, just writing notes, they already know what we're talking about. Like, they'll
the
just
emotion
laugh
behind, exactly. The emotion behind your writing.
So I was just trying to just agree with you because I'm like the LOL was kind of like not called for.
No.
But then they start coming out with the sidekicks. Those little
abbreviations and
yeah.
emojis kicked off. That, like I said, that changed the whole text game too. And like I said, man, the evolution of all this stuff is wild. But the evolution always goes back to the roots of everything. The evolution always goes back to where everything kind of started. Yeah. And I think, one of the biggest things that we're trying to get to is that I think now in dating and even in your own relationship, whether it's your regular relationship, whether it's marriage, that communication level has to get back to being interpersonal. I feel like you shouldn't be arguing through text messages.
What? Anyways, not okay. First of all,
I'm saying you shouldn't get through a whole argument through text. Like, it could start there, but you need to get and talk. That's the problem. People don't talk. People will send an email, a nasty email, but won't come approach you about how they feel. Like, why you can't come tell me this? What you afraid of? Why you? It's so easy to be behind the keyboard. You feel me? Like, it is. And I'm not saying you don't have to do it all the time, but you need to have that interpersonal communication. You feel me? Whether it's
that's true. I mean, you
that's all I'm
be
saying.
able to talk face to face to somebody.
Yeah, because
hash out your differences, or not even. It don't even have to be confrontational. It'll just be something that you want to maybe say, and you just hide it behind your phone. Like, just say it to their face.
Exactly, man. We have to get back into.
We do have to get back to that
because those uncomfortable you couldn't avoid uncomfortable conversations if you was uncomfortable. Otherwise, you had to let it go.
Yep.
That's basically how it went.
Or not say anything.
So now it's like, oh, I'm gonna go run to Facebook and tweet and say something subliminal. You feel me? I'm gonna go on Twitter.
Allows you to be able to say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, and you
run repercussions for it. And that's what they were like, oh yeah, when I see you in the streets, it's on site or whatever.
Exactly.
But it's like, you gonna really see this person in the streets, like.
Yeah, because people can piece things together and figure it out. So, but yeah, man. So that's kind of what our episode was about this time around, man. Just reminiscing, going through what communication was like in our time. I know everybody had either a pager, a two-way, a sidekick, a chirp, a razor, a BlackBerry, the house phone, whether it was a connected phone, whether it was a cordless phone that you had to make sure you charged. Your mama came in.
And like, hey, it was like, bloop, bloop. It's time for you to hang up.
How many of y'all had your mama pick up the phone while you on the phone talking to baby girl and she talking to you? You feel me? And my goodness. And then we move into the sidekicks and we got away messages. And then from there we moved into the LX. And the LX was the hot phone. And then you got the iPhones and the Androids. And we got FaceTime now. Y'all also remember we used to have, before FaceTime, we had Skype, especially in college. My freshman year, I used to Skype the hell out of chicks. Because that was the other way of talking to somebody and seeing them. And so, just want to take y'all down memory lane and all that good stuff. But tonight, speaking of notebooks, I decided to write these down. Wifey is on the hot seat, or the red seat, my bad. Wifey is on the red seat. And
I'm not ready.
I know you're not, because I got questions for that ass. All right. First question. What would be the one thing you would tell your 15-year-old self?
What? Damn, 15?
Yeah, it's half your age.
Sir.
Huh?
Sir.
What?
Sir.
People know how old you are.
No, they do not. You don't have to be saying it out loud.
Oh my God. Can you just answer the damn question?
15.
Yeah, what would you tell your 15-year-old self?
I don't even remember when I was 15.
That's why you telling your 15-year-old. You know your age now.
I know, but what I would tell my 15-year-old self is to I would tell my 15-year-old self to slow down, and life will be right there. Like, don't be fast about life. Kind of just take your time and focus on what is more important than being tied up in like boy stuff. So I think I would tell my 15-year-old self that.
Okay. What is the most challenging thing about being a wife?
Challenging?
Yeah, challenging.
I don't, there's not really.
Oh, there's challenging.
No, I know, but not, cause right, I gotta think, shit, cause.
So aggressive.
What I'm just being honest, because I don't think of being married as a challenge, or maybe it is a challenge, but I don't think that every day is not a challenge for me.
Of course not.
But I would say maybe just communication. When you get on my nerves, sometimes it can be a challenge, and I don't be wanting to be like, I don't want to come off maybe rude or mean. So I think just kind of just breathing and just kind of getting through whatever our conversation is about. But everything else is, there's not really nothing that I can really say is like a huge thing. But I would just say mostly just communication, just keeping that communication open, because he be getting on my nerves.
Yeah, whatever. That's a lie. Right.
You do.
I don't get on her nerves. She gets on my goddamn nerves. That's what's going to keep that thing stacked big. Okay. Last question. And this one's going to be tough. Okay. Mm-hmm. Banana pudding, peach cobbler, sweet potato pie. Which one would have to go forever?
Forever?
Forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever?
Sweet potato, banana pudding.
Or peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler?
Which one would have to go? If somebody gave you these three choices and said one of these have to go for forever, which one is leaving for forever? Forever? Forever, ever? Forever, ever?
I would say.
Ooh.
Okay, like who's making the?
It don't matter. Listen, pick a dessert that is gone for forever. Damn.
Like who's making the pie though? Cause
hey, listen, we're not here to talk about this. Because I can throw you all people that have made things that you really like, and then you're going to still be stuck. So it don't matter.
Okay, I would say banana pudding.
Ooh, okay. Getting rid of the banana pudding.
Yeah, because like there's not a lot of people that I know who make good banana pudding. Okay. Like you be getting it from Lazy Dog, which is disgusting. Like, So I would say peach cobbler and sweet potato. I definitely, because every time I ate those, it was fire. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Just make sure she never get no more than 18 banana pudding. I'll make sure that never happens again. No more. But anyway, y'all, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us for another episode of what?
Let's talk about it with the Rap Man.
Yeah, man. Y'all stay tuned because we going on vacation and we taking the show on the road. So y'all stay tapped in. We got questions for people on the Vegas Strip and in the streets, and it's gonna be a lit situation. So we love y'all. Y'all take care, stay blessed, and we'll catch y'all next time. And we
need it from you, yeah. Crash land in the palm of my hand. Bad little flex wanna play by the coast. Carry the torch, I'm way up, it's litty wherever we